Hey folks, SMK Gaming here. Today's video we're going to be looking at the in-game user interface, or the in-game HUD. There's probably lots that you missed in the recent gameplay trailer. If you haven't seen that, by the way folks, it is linked below. Go check it out before you watch this. It'll probably really help you understand what we're going to be talking about. But yes, coming up, the left hand side of the screen here is going to be the stuff we're going to be talking over, and the chapters and the timings linked to that. So feel free to skip to the part you want if you want to skip to certain bits. But what we're generally going to be going through is, first of all, the minimap. Then we're going to be working our way around to the gadget area, ammo area for infantry. Then we'll look at what is different with it for vehicle players, and then anything else associated with that. We'll then move on and do more specific related stuff to vehicles for those that are maybe in planes or tanks, etc. So folks, let's get started. First up, the minimap. So the first thing when you look at this, you're like, okay, that's different, and it is. It's very, very different. The objective areas have now moved from top and center of the HUD to below the minimap. Likewise, the tickets have now moved from the same location down to the same location, but above the minimap. And I really like it. It's nice, it's clean, it's just nice. I like it like that. You can still see it very easily due to the colors that they're using, and you don't need all that along the top. I like it. I really like it. The only thing I worry about a little bit is the detail on the minimap. It looks like it can be hard to see, you know, like when you're going into a building, your way around the building, you know, it's quite hard to see it. Obviously, making it a little bit bigger probably helps with that also. And it looks like for this trailer, it's been made quite see-through. You can see here, in this particular instance, you can really see the building behind it. So you could probably increase the transparency to make it more opaque if you want it to as well. But you probably already notice that you can get this tealish as well as reddish overlay over the top of the minimap. And what that indicates is the capture zone. So if it's teal, your team controls it. If it's red, the other team controls it, to give you an indication of who is on and in and around the flag. Okay? If you look at the objectives, normally they would be square. But if you move on to a particular objective, it lets you know what objective you're on by putting a small arrow up on that objective to let you know this is where you're at. Additionally, I just talked there about, you know, it lets you know what objective you're on, but it also lets you know, just like previous games, there's other players on the objective. If you look here, as soon as you're on an objective and a player moves on to it, it brings it up and lets you know, in this instance here, 11 teammates, 2 enemies. So you actually now know exactly how many enemies are on the flag with you. Part of that in this game is likely because the capture areas are probably massive. They're probably far bigger than what we're used to, so they've decided big areas, we can now put the numbers on it so they can go searching for these players, rather than smaller objectives where, okay, there's one player there, they can try and find them themselves. So I think that's likely why they did this, and I kind of like it. I'm not really. I know some people think, oh no, that's for noobs, knowing how many players on the flag. Well, waiting to see how big the flag objective areas are. They're massive. So I think you'll really like this is on it. Moving on now, we're going to talk about kind of the squad here. So as you can see, 4-player squads again by the looks of things. You can see each player has an avatar, and each avatar shows you the specialist that person is running. You can also see squad lead with the star beside their name. That's still the same. And then you also have small health bars above your squad mates as well. Regarding that health bar, just like previous Battlefield games, when you're maybe a medic, someone can give out heals. When someone does go down or needs heals, it does show you a little arrow indicator. In this instance here, yellow showing you someone over here's low on health, they need your help. Also here, you can see Blobby Ragdoll has died. And now it's brought up the revive symbol. In this instance here now, this person actually isn't someone with the medical gun. This is a regular squad mate. So squad revives are back in the game, which is another thing that I really like. In it, you can revive anyone in your squad. Anyone. And as you look at the symbol, you can see there's a little white ring around it, indicating it is time limited, of course. Okay? So now we're going to move on. We're going to move across to the gadget section, and there's quite a lot of information here. So you can see your primary weapon, your secondary weapon, gadget 1, gadget 2, and then your grenade or whatever you're carrying. It could be C4, anything like that. This here looks like a gas or like a grenade or something. Just above that, you can see your health bar. Okay, it shows you an actual bar, and here's two images here. It does go down, green, yellow, red, and it does give you the actual number there as well. It also shows you, beside your health, it shows you what specialist you are running at that point in time. And the only time this here disappears is whenever if you're like in a chopper or something, showing here your specialist changes, it then shows you like what chopper you're sitting in as well. Above that, your ammo count. Okay, so here you can see what ammo is currently in the gun and the spare ammo. If you look down at the bottom, back to your primary weapons again, it shows you your total ammo. Okay. Then above that, it gives you the name of whatever you currently have equipped. So it could be whatever your primary is, it could be whatever your secondary is, or whatever gadget you're holding. Okay. Moving on from that there, the last thing we have to go over in relation to the infantry HUD is what that little plus icon does. Well, that's the D-pad, and that's where all the magic happens. You can change your weapon attachments in-game on the fly whenever you want. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I love this feature. You likely have to pre-select different ones to bind onto this, but it looks like you've got sight options here. So you've got like a reflex sight, a scope, and an iron sight. Then you've got 3 different types of magazines, a smaller, a bigger, and then a bigger one again. Then for the underbar, it looks like we've got a kind of potato grip here, and then maybe a stubby grip. And then up to the left hand side here, it looks like you've got a suppressor and some kind of muzzle brake. You can change them all on the fly. I absolutely love this feature. I think it's so good. Nice one, DICE. Really well done with this. Now, of course, you know, accidents happen. You're not wanting to press that D-pad when you're in the middle of a gunfight. Well, they've thought of that. See, when you're firing your weapon and aiming down sight, notice how this D-pad symbol changes to a little ammo symbol to indicate you're now firing your weapon. My guess is your D-pad then becomes inactive, and if you hit it by accident, it's not going to bring up this menu again. Again, very handy. It happens. So let's move on to some vehicle-specific stuff regarding the HUD. We're going to use a tank for this illustration. Other vehicles probably have something similar, but it's Battlefield. We're going to use a tank. So, looking at the tank's HUD here, you can see they have their heavy shell, their machine gun, what looks like a smoke screen, and then a repair wrench, which clearly, you know, the repair from inside the tank. It looks like it's returning once again. But what is interesting here is you can see for the heavy machine gun, as well as the heavy shell, its primary, it's got like an infinity sign beside it. So it looks like they have unlimited ammo. Obviously it counts down and it has to replenish, but it looks like attrition is gone. No more having to go to resupply stations, which I feel caused a lot of camping in Battlefield 5 and tanks. Hopefully, now that they can go in, they know that they're not going to have to worry about ammo, I think is a very good thing. On from that, again, you've got the tank health bar. Beside the health bar, you can see the name of the tank. Above it, you can see what currently is selected. It currently has its primary weapon selected, and then above that again, it shows you who's driving, and then who's in the 3 seats behind it. So that there was a tanker's view in third person, and its HUD in third person. Let's take a look at it in first person. There's quite a few interesting changes here, folks. So as you can see here, we're going to move from right, left, and up around. First thing you notice here is T angle, which turret angle is currently at 13%, and it goes up and down. Next, you then have T distance, of course stands for total distance. Above that there again then, you've got compass, which obviously moves around as the turret moves around also. And again, whenever you're shooting your weapon as an infantry player, you also get this, but it appears down beneath the gun. I like it, it's a nice feature. Next thing, camera field of view. Of course, like with infantry, you can change your field of view as a tanker whenever you're aiming down sight, or first person perspective. And the final thing is kilometers per hour, current tank speed is stationary at 0 at the minute. I think a lot of tankers will like those little extra bits added to them, and I think they can really, probably, unfortunately, start perfecting their aim with all this additional information they're going to be getting. So moving on to a pilot's HUD in third person, pretty much identical to that of a tanker's. No real difference whatsoever. But moving inside the cockpit into first person view, there is a few differences. As you can see on the left hand side here, kilometers per hour, still the same. Moving along the top, you have the compass, again still the same, but then the pilot, they're in the air, it gives you their current altitude. And of course, all the graphics on screen shows you the degrees and whatnot in relation to the ground and how much they're turning and all that kind of stuff. So the final thing we're going to go over before finishing up is the items that seem to be missing from the in-game HUD. Kill feed wasn't there. Additionally, the chat log, or chat log on PC, but on console it was just simple commands like go, 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 need health, need ammo, that type of thing. It wasn't there. And none of the kill information. When you kill a player, you weren't getting the damage, any of the stuff that will come up. Didn't seem to be there. My guess is all that stuff will be there at release. It was pre-alpha, they probably wanted to record it with those items off just to show you, the gameplay a bit better. My guess is all those things will be there. Pinging players didn't seem to be there either. Again, I do hope that's there. Being able to ping a player's location if you're downed in a down state, being able to ping he's over there, that type of thing. Again, wasn't there, but I hope they are there when the game releases. Thank you for watching, folks. It's been a bit longer than I thought it was going to be, but if you could hit that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. We're trying to push towards 10k subs for Battlefield 2042 releases. Thank you for watching. Drop a like, and I'll catch you again in the next video. Stay safe out there, folks.